Now, the annual Great Lake Region Conference, which brings together private sector players from over 12 regional states, has kicked off today here in Nairobi. The two-day meeting is set to look at ways of improving private sector contribution to their respective counties, as well as improving regional trade. Jimmy Bogo has such details.
Well, indeed, thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to you too, Carol. Yes, this is the annual general meeting that is for the Great Lake region countries. That's about 12 countries, just looking at ways of improving businesses and improving inter-country trade. And one of the things that has been called upon by stakeholders is the fact that countries need to come up with policies that are not inward-looking. And just to speak to us, we're joined by the president of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, that is Mr. Richard Ngatia. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Bwana Ngatia. During your presentation, one of the things that you emphasized on is for the government to come up with policies that do not look inward. Has this been a problem?
Now, all we're saying as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and in particular the 12 countries, we are saying we want the involvement of the government, and when they are formulating policies, it must be policies that are favoring the private sector so that we can be able to integrate, we can be able to do free trade in these 12 countries. Today was our General Assembly. We have today we are the host as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and today is a big day for us because we want to get that leadership. We want to have elections so that we can have the chairperson. We can also have the vice chairperson of the committee, and also somebody who will be able to lead the private sector in these 12 regions. Our bid is to see that we open up markets in these regions where we believe that the region is rich with minerals, rich with the horticulture, rich with, a lot of things that we can be able to benefit with as Kenya and also as the region. And we want also to say that we all know that poverty leads to all this instability in the region, and therefore we want to make sure that we trade, we develop as a country, economic development, so that the terms of insecurity then we can be able to eradicate.
All right, now when you look at the 12 member countries, one of the common thing among the 12 countries is all these are frontier markets. How can trade therefore improve the state of these countries, improve let's say when it comes to political stability and job creation?
If you look at globally, I think major companies are seen to be the ones actually leading in trade. But what we are saying is that there are a lot of opportunities in Africa at large, and particularly in the Great Lakes region. And therefore what we're saying, this will come a long way to make sure that we create, first of all, we create jobs. It will make sure that we sustain businesses for those startups, for also businesses that are looking for opportunities in these regions. And we can be able also to grow our African continent. In this great region, the population is about 400 million. You can imagine that kind of a population when you're integrating together. And therefore, I think there is a lot of opportunity for all of us to make sure that we do and trade together.
All right, now there's also the issue of connectivity. When you look at air transport, when you look at the transport system, this has been a challenge for a very long time in Africa. How can we then, from where you stand right now, how can we address this, and what are some of the areas that really need to be connected to the other Great Lake regions?
If you look at, for example, the LAPSET, I think, which is heading to Sudan, and those are the kind of things, the initiatives that we as a Great Region should take so that we are able to be connected. Number two, we should be able to have smart cities within this region so that we can be able to integrate, we can be able to connect, and we can be able to use the new technology so that it's easier for everybody to communicate to each other.
All right, now one of the things that has been vastly mentioned, even when you speak about the issue of the Inter-Africa Continental Free Trade Area, is the issue of non-tariff barriers, because we understand that a lot of these tariffs coming from border tariffs, let's say Kenyans investors moving goods to Tanzania or to other East African countries, there's the issue of tariffs. This has been quite a thorn in the flesh of many traders. How do we address this and make sure that Kenyans can be able to move their goods to Tanzania at an affordable rate, and also the way vice versa?
I think this was also addressed during the trade week I think last month when we had a trade week here in Kenya. But we are looking at making sure that there is trade balance between all these countries. And items that, the tariffs that are very high, we are looking at having them, reduced so that the community or the traders can also benefit from their sales.
All right, and lastly, what is your call to governments, and especially governments in these 12 countries?
My call is to make sure that we promote peace in this region, and how you can promote peace is nothing else but through trade. And I think I'm calling on governments to support the private sector, to support the initiative from these discussions and deliberations that will come in today, and that way then we shall be able to have and open up markets in this region for everybody.
Indeed, thank you so much, Mr. Ngate. We'll be looking forward to some of the resolutions that come out of this meeting. And Carol, that's all the time we've got from this, and we'll be giving you more details in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, back to you.